Today's not an official meeting, but a very special meeting here in the city of Hawthorne, where we have a lot of the residents gathered here today. City of Hawthorne has been put on notice. I mean, we haven't had to notice them because a lot of people have already heard of the great talent that we have here in this city called Cuco. And we're very, very proud to have him here in the city of Hawthorne. I'm going to ask Cuco to come on up so, he's inside here when we're saying all this. Let's give him a big round of applause. We were hoping you could sit up there, but I think the camera's in wherever you think you can fit. I just definitely like to have you in the front row. Can we have him in the front row? Is there a possibility for anybody to maybe adjust their camera so he can be in the front row with his parents? That'd be great. With his lovely parents that I had an opportunity to talk to earlier. So, excellent. Con sus papás acá enfrente al lado de su hijo, que lo acompañen. Yeah, excellent. Y tiene también más familia que lo están acompañando a él. So, it's definitely, it's not too often that we have things like this happen. In fact, we've never really done this here at City Hall. And for us, it's extremely important to honor one of our own talents that we have coming out of the city of Hawthorne. I'm joined here today by our fellow council member, Mike Talleda. Can you stand up so you can be recognized? Let's hear it. Give it up to him. Our recent council member, Nilo Michelin. The police chief of the city, Mike Ishii. He's the main guy over there, okay? So if you get a ticket, you can talk to him right now, see what he can do. And who else do we have? We have our city attorney in the back, Russ Miyahara. And our planning director in the back also. Look at her. She's smiling over there. Let's give her a round of applause also. And to you, the residents who are here to honor Cuco today. One of the things that I did was I looked at his biography. I loved his music, and I heard it, and it's an eclectic mix. And there's a reason why that is the case. Growing up here in the city of Hawthorne, I love Hawthorne. That's why I decided to become mayor. But he's decided to produce his music in Hawthorne, to live in Hawthorne with his parents, and continue living in Hawthorne. So to me, that is extremely significant and important that he's proud of being a Hawthorne resident. So kudos for that. So one of the things that stood out about his career is that he started it in his own garage, basically, making his own music, producing his own music. And what stood out to me even further was that it's not just one simple genre of music. I come from a musical background. I've played piano and I've DJed too. So if you need a DJ to back you up, man, I'm here. I'm here. I'll do it. But to hear that from his dad, rock en español from his dad as an influence, right? That's important. I could just see that happening. I can hear elements of that in his music. To hear about the bolero music from his mom, las románticas que le gusta a su mamá, como recuerdos, quién sabe que 101.3, gangster and Chicano rap, because that's inevitable. You're going to hear some of that stuff here in Hawthorne. And the psychedelic rock that he's heard from some of his friends and some of his relatives, uncles. I think you can hear those elements in the music, and that's what makes his music so unique. To be able to make it so unique and eclectic, and it just connects. Everybody can relate to his music. I'm extremely excited to hear his music. And there was a couple of tunes. I don't know the names, okay, because I got a bad memory. I'm getting older, but I could just tell you if I heard it, that's the one I like. The other thing that stood out about him from his bio was that he learned not only to play one instrument, but he learned to play like about 5 or 6 on his own. He started off by teaching himself how to play the bass, and that's kind of hard. You might see people out there playing, bass or guitar, but it's like a simple strum down. But this guy took it to the limit, and you could hear it in his music, the influences that he knows how to play these instruments. He also knows how to play the keyboard, the drums, the trumpet, the French horn, and the mellophone. What's the mellophone? Maybe you could tell me later, okay? But it might be something like a xylophone. Oh, I'm off. But see, he knows how to play so many instruments that he knows how to play more instruments than I even know of. So that's great to hear. One of the things that also stood out is that he grew up here in the city of Hawthorne. He went to a lot of local schools. He went to some schools in Lenox for primary school and then for junior high, but he went to Hawthorne High School. So he became a Cougar. So he played in the band. Okay, what did he play in the band? He played trumpet in the band. And so he didn't stop there. He learned all these other instruments as he went. So that stood out to me. He still loves it. He still loves living here in the city of Hawthorne. We talked about that. He wants to escape places he would like to go to skate to Dino's or to skate at the old Hawthorne Museum. You go skate there? I thought we prohibited that, Chief. Does he get a pass for that? Okay, it's revealing, man. His favorite neighborhood events are the Hawthorne football games, Hawthorne High School football games, which are awesome. Hawthorne High could do a little bit better when it comes to it. You guys kind of agree, right? But, he loves Pollo Inca, and I'm thinking that's the fast food one over there, like on Hawthorne Boulevard, that you could just go sit down, not the fancy restaurant one. The one I want to get to eat my food as quickly as possible one. Yeah, right? The restaurant, too, down the street, right in Lawndale. And he likes to hang out at Delaware Park, right here, right around the corner. Teachers who inspired him were Miss Grace, Mr. Morejon, and Mr. Eddie. And I think we have one of your teachers here. One of the things, so like as we said, for the residents that are going to hear this later and are learning about him, is that he started off composing his music and creating his music in his own garage here with his family. And he became famous not through like the Hollywood industry where you have to go show him a demo, etc. He used social media, and that stood out really, really intensely. He used Spotify. So I guess you could post your music up there, people could hear it, and you end up getting followers or streams, and they end up liking it, and that's how you end up promoting yourself these days. So he's really taken it to the limit, and that's probably what had Interscope catch their attention. He had about 44 million streams, with an additional 9 million streams through SoundCloud. So let's give it up for him on that. He has an extensive discography, which I'm not going to go into because it's extremely extensive. And he has even produced some of his own current albums from his house, because he's so well talented that he's able to produce his music and master it to the point of it being sellable and being able to put out there for sale. So obviously, as I mentioned, I gave you a big hint. Interscope Records caught he caught their attention, and he signed a 7-figure deal with them. So I commend you for that one too. So just remember, Cuco, today is very important for us. We don't take this lightly, because for somebody to be getting these multi-million dollar deals, having this many followers, you're entering the ranks of the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys are from Hawthorne. Emmett Rhodes is from Hawthorne as well. Sonny Bono from Sonny and Cher lived here and worked at some of the local supermarkets here. Marilyn Monroe, even though she's an actress, but she lived here too. So you're entering the ranks of like a great pantheon of people. So we commend you for that, and we're extremely proud here as Hawthorne residents. My council member colleagues are here also, and they concur with me on that. So definitely want to start off by having some people here address and say some awesome things about you, some anecdotes. And I'm going to start off by asking Mr. Morejon to please come up. Mr. Morejon is his high school math teacher, and he can tell us more about how well he did in his algebra class, right?
Geometry class.
Oh, geometry. Dale.
But yes, I wanted to I wanted to say good afternoon to Mayor Vargas, the city council members. I'm not exactly sure everyone who's in the room, but parents and families. Like Mayor Vargas shared, it is really an honor and a privilege to be able to stand here and celebrate not only a member of our city, but also someone who was my former student, which, like you said, doesn't happen every day. So just for people who don't know who I am, like he said, my name's William Morejon. I'm also a Hawthorne alumni. I graduated in 2007, so a little over 10 years ago. And I'm a current math teacher at Hawthorne High. So I had the privilege of being Omar slash Cuco's geometry teacher about 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Some years ago. But I've been teaching at Hawthorne now for about 7 years. So we're here today, obviously, to acknowledge the growth, the accomplishments, the success, and influence of one of my former students, one of our city members, Omar Baños. That's how I knew him. That's how I kind of met him. And he's kind of grown and become this global sensation that everybody now knows as the musical artist Cuco. So I feel like as a teacher at any level of schooling, whether you're teaching students who are kindergartners, first graders, high schoolers, middle schoolers, we're always fulfilled when we see our students achieve amazing and incredible things in the world. And this is kind of my first time witnessing that with one of my own students. Over the past few years, I've watched Omar grow, evolve, just kind of experiment and, on social media, putting videos out. I remember the first video that he released years ago, and now this morning, or yesterday, this morning, released an album called Para Mí. And I woke up this morning and I was listening to the whole, I played it while I was getting ready, showering, eating, everything. So his music has already influenced me as well. I know that he's a big influence to our community, to our school. My students brag about him all the time. They're like, bring him, bring him. They don't believe me that he was my former student. They're like, he was? And I'm like, yeah, he sat there 5 years ago. But they don't believe me because, like you said, we don't, hear stories like this all the time. So it's really something worth celebrating and something worth, commemorating. So Cuco, to you, to you in such a short time, your music has become so influential, so meaningful. The lyrics you choose, the way you convey it, even the biculturalism, the bilingualism. You're approaching. I looked this morning actually. You're getting close to 1 million followers on social media. I think it was 830,000 or something. You've already traveled all these places. I used to brag to my students, I've been here, and he's 9 years younger than me, and he's already been all these other places. So yeah, I'll give a little insight. So 5 years ago, I had Cuco in my geometry classes sophomore year. 7? Okay, 7. So my first year teaching. Wow. Okay, no pressure. So, he was a member of something that we had called Cougar Academy. It was a group of teachers that really worked together to try to make our kids get back on track, be more successful. And so that's probably why he finds a lot of us so influential, because we really went out of our way to be there and motivate them and tell them that they could be a success. But as a student, I definitely remember him being very inquisitive, always asking questions, even after school coming, whether it was about life, whether it was about math, whether it was about grades, graduation, whatever life. Hardworking compared to his peers. He put in a lot more effort and cared a lot more about school. And I know that's always impressive to me, because I know the obstacles that students in our community are constantly facing. There's a lot of single parent households. There's a lot of, like you said, gangster rap and drugs and all kinds of things that our students have to battle on a day-to-day basis. But he's been able to overcome that and make a success of himself. But I do remember, he was talking about the band. I do remember him always being musical, whether he was humming or listening to music. You mentioned the bass. He was always bringing his bass to class and playing chords on the guitar, listening to different kinds of music. But I'm just really glad that he found a venue to share that gift with the rest of the world. You mentioned this also. I don't know if you read my speech beforehand, but Hawthorne High School, like you said, is known as the birthplace of the Beach Boys. And for me, that was always the thing that people mentioned, oh, go Hawthorne High School, the Beach Boys, the Beach Boys. And I feel 60 years later, I'm really happy that now we kind of have a new, more modern face, a more, contemporary person associated with Hawthorne, and that's Omar, that's Cuco. So his music is definitely influential to our community. People resonate with his experience. I love that the personality that I knew as a student is the same personality that he is online. He's still humorous, he's still funny, he's still joking, he says he loves you and everything, so he's very embracing of everybody regardless of who they are. Another thing I want to commemorate him for is his activism and his advocacy. A lot of times his lyrics or his interviews, if you read in between the lines, you can see that he gives a really strong message about immigration, marginalized groups in the community, and I feel like with somebody with his platform, that's really important to not just, share your talent, but also try to make the world a better place, so I'm grateful that you do that. Our youth look up to you as a role model. They listen and value your opinions and what you say. And I feel like that's exactly what so many of our students and our youth need today. So you remind our youth that they're bilingual, that they're bicultural, and so much of your music reminds them of their roots and where they came from, and to never neglect that part of themselves. And even I feel that too when I listen to it. I'm like, oh, that part was in English, now it jumped to Spanish, now it's English, now it's Spanish. So I want to thank you, Omar, for your warmth, staying true to yourself, sharing your passion, your creativity with all of us. I'm thankful to have had you as a former student. It really is an honor, like as you become more and more famous, and I don't. At least, at least it's nice to know that, I played a small part in that. Please continue to represent the youth in our community well, the struggles of our families, teaching people to push through their obstacles and follow their dreams, which you have. And congratulations to Team Cuco. The new album is great. I'm already hearing, I read all the comments, my students comment, they say amazing things about your music. And if for those of you that haven't gone and heard the album yet, please do, it's on Spotify. And the thing that I love most, I think this puts a smile on every Hawthorne resident's face, is I believe on the cover of the album is our water tower, right? And that always puts a smile on my face, because I feel like sometimes people become famous and they forget where they came from, but I love that you're embracing where you came from. Because I grew up in Hawthorne too, so I feel a connection to that as well. And I wish you nothing but continued success in the future. Thank you.
There we go. Un abrazo. Órale. Absolutely, he's a role model, and he doesn't take that responsibility lightly. And he also lets people know that it's okay to love your family and be family oriented. So you can see it right here, the way he's with his parents. So I like that. So the next person I'm going to ask is for Doris to come to the podium. Awesome.
Actually, before I start, we have a video from Mr. Eddie, which was more of a mentor to Omar. He's in Spain right now. Is it already on here? Wait, cool.
Okay, so you're Doris, right? So you're gonna be speaking after the video?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I will.
So we're gonna hear
Cuco.
There we go. And Mr. Eddie's in Spain right now. He wish he could be here, but he sends his love and sends this message as well.
Oh, congratulations. Mr. Eddie checking in live from Madrid, Spain. I just want to tell you, man, I'm proud of you. This is a huge moment for you, for every city kid that just wants to do something phenomenal, something beyond belief. Like, you've done it, man. You made it. You accomplished your wildest goals. You made it to the top. I'm very proud of you. Listen to a little bit of the album. I love it. It's phenomenal. The sounds, the cadence. I love it all. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Shout out to Chicano God, Doris. Love you guys as well. And looking forward to seeing you on the way back, man. Congratulations again. And I wish you the best, man. You have a lot in store. This is not the end. It's just the beginning. You have a long way to go, and savor the moment. Just, savor it. Just listen to your own album just from scratch, and just vibe to it, and share your experiences with others, man, and motivate. Be a motivational force in this world, man. Love you, man, and congratulations once again. Peace.
Wow, that's awesome.
Shout out Mr. Eddie. He's an amazing individual, and I wish he was here with us today. But hi, I'm Doris. I think most of y'all, we don't know each other, huh? I probably bugged you guys on email or text message or something at some point. I met Omar February 2017, so almost 2.5 years ago, when one random day on Twitter, somebody had posted a video of him in the midst of like producing a song and singing over the track, and I was immediately hooked. And I was like, what is this? And I was about to clean my apartment, and I was like, Saturday morning, but to, instead of boleros, put on Cuco. And that was right after he put out his mixtape, Songs for You. And I just ran through Wanna Be With You and Songs for You, and at the end of it, I was like, wait, what did I just find? Like, what did I just listen to? And just seeing and taking a rabbit hole dive into his social media and seeing how so many young kids were just clinging on to him so early, and seeing that they were already talking about representation and like the love for his music, and Amor de Siempre being the song that really allowed them to feel like they had a face of representation, like even at that time. And so I went to go see him and Isai over here and the rest of the band play out of a garage in Commerce. And I pulled up 23 at the time. Steph Osuna from Me Too was there too. And we were the oldest people there. And all these teenagers were singing every single lyric. Every single lyric. And once Amor de Siempre came on, they were singing every single lyric in Spanish. When he brought out the trumpet, they were screaming. And that was the moment that I knew, like, that fire in my belly of like, wow, this is so incredibly pure. This is a movement. These are children, LOL, the youth, me included, that needed that face of representation, especially in a music industry that doesn't necessarily give us the benefit of the doubt in most times, and to see that they have built community in a backyard. I just came up to him after the show. I was like, yo, like, what you're doing is so beautiful. And like, I saw you tweeted that you need to play at a venue. Like, let's hang out and like, let's talk. And the next day we went to go sit for tacos, and we didn't even eat tacos. We just like drank agua frescas and sat down there for like 4 hours, just spilling our whole life stories to each other and seeing how we aligned in so many different ways, coming from immigrant parents, first generation here in the United States, and talking about how every single thing that we want to do is for the impact of our family, the impact of our community, to be able to give back and repay the sacrifices that our parents had to go through in order to get us here. And that was the moment where we just hit the ground running, and we never looked back. And it all started in the heart of the DIY scene. It all started in the heart of community championing him every single step of the way, leading into our first time flying to New York when labels started courting him, and having to be running around the country when he started selling out shows left and right. And it was like somebody just threw a ton of gasoline on this and just lit the match and ran away. And we're like, okay, we're just gonna be dealing with this and moving forward with our community behind us and supporting us. And when Lo Que Siento came around, and that was really the song that changed both of our lives. Like that was it right there, where people didn't really understand at first the impact of a bilingual song, and then that opened the floodgates for not only Omar here, but all the artists that have now come in this beautiful Latinx first generation movement within music. And I didn't have that when I was a teenager, and I'm only 25. 10 years ago, I needed this movement. And to see now that these kids going through whatever is going through in our country right now, that get to cling to the arts to be able to push through this tough time that our community is going through, that is absolutely everything. And that is the importance of this impact, and that is the importance of an artist like Cuco. The millions of the streams, the now going into international touring, the moment that we hit Southeast Asia for the first time, and it was night one in Jakarta, Indonesia, and these kids can't even speak English, but they were singing in Spanish. That's impact. That's absolutely everything. For people to understand that our Latinx community is not only within the United States, it's not only within Latin America, but is now on a global scale, where kids in Indonesia are singing lyrics in Spanish and screaming for a mariachi trumpet solo. Like, how incredible is that? And now going into a place where his record deal is literally in history, what we were able to pull off and being patient for 2 years is something that not anybody in the general market gets. Like, Cuco is history. And I want people to understand that this is just the beginning, and that his music and the power of our community championing behind him is embedded in not only music history, but history in general. And people will be studying this 20 years from now, and I 100% believe that with every ounce of my being. this representation means everything to me, means everything to the people that are in this room. Soy Chiona, sorry. But we don't get this kind of representation in the mainstream media. We don't get this kind of representation at all. And a kid who started producing in his room at 16 years old with the resources that he had, mixing and sneaking into his parents' cars to be able to finish his music, not even working with the proper monitor, not working even with the proper resources, but he did it because he wanted to, and he's a self-starter, and I think that's an example of what our immigrant community is. We are self-starters. We work extremely hard with the resources that we are given because our parents have shown us so. And so because of that, now we are unlocking the keys of financial freedom, unlocking the keys to actually be able to facilitate helping our community on a national and international scale. His hard work, literally, if you know Omar, he is the most generous person you will probably ever meet. Like, anyone can attest to that. And his dedication to family, his dedication to his father, his dedication to how much he loves his mother is incredible and undoubted. There's no one like Cuco. He is a prodigy. This is a movement. And even though his music is not political, his existence is. And the fact that a young brown boy from the South Bay is making moves and waves on an international scale is something that everyone should always remember and understand. And a moment like this, for him to be receiving the keys to Hawthorne, which he reps so hard, harder than anyone that I know. Get that tatted on his chest. Don't do that. Your mom will kill you. Don't. Not tatted on your chest. But you get it. His dedication is there. And very thankful for you all to take the time to honor this, because he deserves to be honored. And hopefully next year, after this album does its thing, we'll be taking more victory laps and more people will see the impact of Cuco and the impact of our community. Thank you.
Oh man, that's awesome. You can definitely see the passion that's there in his manager, and we know on that end, on the people right immediately behind him, that he's in safe hands. So, you know, I got to meet her, and I mean, she's very passionate. She's very protective too. So, and he also he also has a great publicist and PR manager right there, Lauren Medina. Let's give a round of applause for her to her also. So, I just wanted to bring attention to the community out there. If you want to learn more about him, he does have a Facebook. Just type in CUCO for Cuco, and you'll be able to find him on there. And then for Instagram, you can also find him under Cuco Puffs. Our city attorney was one of the first persons to tell me that that's what he's the one that looked it up right away. So he's the one that gave me Cuco Puffs. CUCO PUFFS. CUCO PUFFS. And you can find him under Instagram. Okay? So now, very, very important, I am going to give an opportunity for various members of the community, whoever would love to say something, to come speak after these very important individuals. But I'd definitely like to give the floor to Cuco's parents, a los papás de Cuco, que pasen los dos juntos, y si quieren, no. Es bien importante. En español, y si gusta. Señora, pase, no tenga miedo. En español todo, it doesn't matter. In Spanish. Remember, we're already...
Okay, as you can see who has like pantalones. Okay, so
Okay.
Okay, buenas tardes. ¿Qué les puedo decir de Omar? Siempre fue un niño bueno, y espero que siga así, como dijeron, que no se le olvide de dónde vino, porque si se le olvida, le quita las llaves, por favor.
Sí. Las quito. A ver, señor. What about you, sir?
Okay, well, I guess if I start talking about like my own son, we're gonna be here forever, right? So we're gonna try to keep this short and sweet, right? My wife is always like, "You're gonna start talking about this now?" Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty talkative. So, anyways, what I want to say is basically, people always ask me, right, or tell me like, "Hey, congratulations, Greg, congratulations." That's the first thing I hear, right? And it's like, and I go like, well, you know what? To be honest, I have done nothing special than any parent that loves his son or his son like has done it. I mean, we feed him, we give him love, right? I mean, Gerber, cereal, whatever. Dinos, Wendy's, junk food once in a while, so nothing special, right? So it's, I guess it's, I feel so proud for him because he has done pretty much everything. The other one is not, sometimes I tell Omar, don't forget to say that. You know, I'm always kind of like, Omar is like, why you're saying that, right? I said, because I had to say it. You know, I had to say it. I have a mic, so I can say it. So, so his mom it's been very important. Okay, he definitely learned to play all the instruments on his own, right? And but he also, my wife paid for a guitar class that lasted like a few months, right? And it's where Omar got the first knowledge of music, and from there, basically, Omar kept on moving. Oh, sorry, am I taking too far? Okay. Oh, okay. My son maybe it's doing the sign, right?
No,
Ya,
todo
córtale.
bien, todo bien. Llegaron más fans.
So yeah. So well, it was super hard for Omar because he was living with two crazy parents, right? They was like fighting. It's like, hey, have you paid this? Have you paid that? It's like, checking account is like not so much money. So let me see. It was full of struggles in his life, right? And of course, that brings arguments between my wife and I. We have like rough moments, right? We're about to lose our house here in Hawthorne. to be honest, I'm telling you my own story right here. Huh? So, anyways, it was tough for him, right? But something he's always been like finding his find kind of like his own place has been music. Music's always been like kind of like wherever problem he has, he goes to his room and we can always hear like doing something with his music. Sometimes, to be honest, I didn't even know he knew how to sing. That was a big surprise for me because I always hear like tin 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 tin, and I'm like, yeah, Omar, it's nice that you like music, you know, that's nice, a nice hobby, but you know what? Someone needs to feed the dogs. It's like, yeah, I know that, and that's how that was. How much concentration he has, with his dad always interrupting him, like, Omar, do the dishes. Someone has to do it. It smells bad in the kitchen. And my wife is like, Omar. It's like, always we keep him interrupting him. I mean, can you imagine, like, he's an artist and we're like, Omar, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? So I think it has like the double merit because it's always like putting up with these two parents, right? But one day he starts singing and he showed me this song. It's like, me and my wife were looking at each other like, who's singing? He has like good voice. And Omar is like, it's me. It's like, nah, get out of here. Yeah, it was him. So that was a big surprise. It's like, wow, I was surprised. And like, well, let's see where this takes you, right? Later on, the shows in the backyards, right? It's like, okay, well, at least we can make friends and some music and have fun, right? Enjoy these years, right? Later on, right? He comes and brings these girls like, hey, she wants to be my manager, right? And I'm like, well, she's just 24, I'm seeing like managers being like, they're like older, people more prepared, like being in the industry. And I go like, and I see this girl like smiling, hi, yeah, I want to be his manager. And I'm like, well, you know what? Really? Really? It's like, and to be honest, before that, Omar tells me, he was in school, he got accepted at a couple schools, at Pomona, was one of them, and says like, I know, I'm telling you all the story, right? Well, you guys want to know, right?
It's good, it's good.
A couple versions here. So anyways, he got accepted to Pomona, and at some point it's like, this guy's never studying. It's like, you're really going to school? It's like, well, yeah, I am, I am. And it's like, one day comes and tells me, hey, to be honest, and he's all nervous, and he wants to talk to my mom and you. It's like, okay, tell you something, I don't want to be in school anymore. This is not my thing. I want to continue in music. That was kind of like a big, okay, let's finish this. Okay, I just okay. Well, this is the short story. This is the short story.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, my God.
anyways, I'm gonna wrap this. I know
No,
you're
you're good.
So, anyways, I met Doris, right? And they start going to these shows. And the first time he was to the venue, it was like, this guy is the main guy. I didn't believe it, and it was like, how did she do it, right? I mean, this guy is like brand new in the industry, or like here's like, and she's already the main person here. So, and I can keep on talking about Omar and his life, and I mean, maybe some other time it's gonna leave it here, pending, right? So if you guys ever want to ask me, I'll be happy to. But I just, but there's a person that I really want to recognize today, and it's not my son. I mean, definitely, this is all about my son, right? But definitely, actually, two persons here, really quick. It's my wife, because she's always been like supportive, right? And Omar, please don't get mad when she tells you something. You know, always go like, ya sé, mama. You are. This is the age. I know. And one person that is super important, and I have like had some difference with her at some point, because you know it's because of her age. Sometimes she doesn't know things, but you know now it's like I see her like fully like empowered. So Doris, thanks so much, because I don't know if Omar will be here, you know, without her. So definitely she's into activism. It's not just a manager, it's a person who is, it represents also the Latino community. Both of these guys are like superheroes, you know, superpowers combined. And Doris, thank you. And I'm gonna finish this. Thank you. I'm sorry, and the whole team.
I'll hit you up later. I know there's some more interesting things out there. The crazy stuff. I want to hear the crazy stuff. Okay. So I just want to recognize that there are members of our community here in the audience. We have two members of our business community, Rudy Escamilla, who is who is the owner of Moshi Moshi Mambo Restaurant. Let's give him a round of applause. And Mr. Bal Singh, who's owner of some of the 7-Eleven franchises here in the city of Hawthorne. So they wanted to come see. We have Melissa Siegel, who's one of our residents. She's like a booster for the city right there. And our city manager, Arnie Shodbear, who's in the back. Let's give a round of... Awesome. So there are, before we go with the formalities, I just want to give between 30 to 45 seconds opportunity for anybody in the audience, any of his fans, or anybody who would like to say something to Cuco right now. Just come up to the podium, form a little line. Excellent. There we go. The first one is always the hardest. Anybody else?
Okay, so before I start to cry, just want to say that I love you. I'm extremely emotional. I want to spotlight Omar's strength. Throughout this process of stardom with this platform, it's hard. This is very hard. And it's not easy being able to tour. It's not easy being a spotlight for this generation and this movement when you have yourself to take care of in your whole life. So I just want to spotlight his strength for always pushing for not only his fans, but his family and his friends. And I'm proud of you and I love you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Come on up. Anybody else? Council member, you want to line up too? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Desi Moreno, and I am the mom of Isai Chicano God, and I am also Omar's other mom. In a sense, all these boys call me mom, and I just want to say how proud we are, Omar, and congratulations to you and your parents, your folks. Thank you so much for just being such a light, such inspiration, such a beautiful story, such a source of inspiration. I am so proud of you, son. What an honor to be here to witness this. What an honor to have seen your guys' journey. Thank you so much for all you do, for being a brother to my son. I am so proud. I cannot put it into words. Thank you to his management for all you do. Thank you to the team. Thank you for all the hard work that everybody does. I have never seen such a dedicated group of boys, or more handsome boys, really. And thank you for putting Hawthorne in the South Bay on the map, my boy. We are so, so proud of you.
That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Anybody can come up and speak. Anybody in Espanol or whatever other language. So form a line if you're gonna speak. Okay, go ahead, sir. Hi.
Hi, my name is Santiago Suna. I'm Stephanie's sister, and I really love your music, man. I really do. I was like, I'm so glad that she introduced me like to you earlier. I loved Lo que siente. I was like, whoa, you know, yeah. Yeah, I just want to say I like your music a lot.
All right. Woo! Anybody else? There we go. El compa.
Relax. Nah. All right, yeah, I'm done. I just wanted to, no, I was kidding.
You just came for the picture.
I did. I met Omar. I call him Cuquita. But, so I met Cuquita. He was a freshman. I was a sophomore. We went to Hawthorne High. I actually had you as a substitute
Yeah, that's
once
right.
or twice. Yeah. Sorry about that. It was different times, you know. I was a different man. No, but honestly, I just want to thank you for the years of being a brother to me, and I want to thank you for bringing me along to this ride. And it's been crazy, and we've been through a lot, and Omar's been there for a lot of my ups and lots of my downs, you know what I mean? But I just want to say thank you very much, and I'm proud of you, and I'm gonna ride till the wheels fall off, man.
Anybody else would like to speak? Excellent. Yeah. I'm going to ask Ms. Broomfield to come up. One of our longtime residents from the city of Hawthorne, ma'am.
Hi, Omar. I'm here because I never heard of you before until I read the mayor's letter the other day. And I said, well, I'm going this afternoon and find out where it is. I was thinking it was at the center. And I said, well, it must be over at the city hall. But I had to come to see who Omar Cuco is. From what I've heard, I'm proud of you just hearing about you, because you are a young person and you're the future. And I think it's wonderful what you're doing. When I go home, I'm going to turn on the computer and I'm going to listen to some more and see if I can't get in the grade. I'm an old lady, but I'm what my doctor said is I'm a young old lady. So I appreciate you. And good luck.
Councilmember Tayeda. Come on up, my friend. And then there was another couple of young ladies that want to come up too. I'm gonna ask his
Follow her
his relatives.
and go on my computer too. You know, it's so nice to see a story like yours. You know, because you have a lot to give. It's really a privilege to be inspirational to young people, and so you got a message that's beautiful. That you can rise up, and you can do great things, and so it's a real privilege to have you be from Hawthorne. You know, it really is, and it's a real privilege to and hope that you never forget the parks that you went to and the kids that you played with and the teachers that you had, and always remember that. Because you're going to be around for a long time, influencing a lot of people. So it's a real responsibility, but it's a terrific privilege to be able to do what you're going to do. And you've got some great. Well, first of all, you got your mom and dad. You know, you could tell that that's where all of that comes from. You know, so congratulations. I'm really proud to be able to say that you're one of us, and you know, welcome, and all your friends, and you're great. I'm really proud to have you part of this community, you know, and I look forward to everything you're going to be doing, and I'm going to go find out, and I can't wait to listen to your album, to tell you the truth. Thank you.
So anybody else who would love to say something to Cuco, form a line behind. It's okay to form a line. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm his cousin, and I think I speak on behalf of my whole family when I say congratulations. And I mean, that's an understatement, honestly. You're amazing, and to me, you're not just, I mean, to me, you're just, like, you've always been an older brother that I can literally talk to about boys and breakups and everything, but it's amazing to see that I can also look up to you and how amazing you are and how amazing you've always been. And it's crazy because it always takes me back to when we used to sit in his bed and I would listen to his little demos and little songs that he was making and bits and pieces, and I'd be like, oh my God, you should play at the promenade. And now look at you. Like, it's insane. And the fact that it's only the beginning is amazing. And I love you, and congrats.
Okay. Next person.
Good afternoon, Mayor. So I'm Melissa, and so I have to concur. I love music, and so when I heard about this, I had to come. I can't wait to hear your music. I also went to Hawthorne High School, so it's super exciting to see that you're a Cougar. I think we have like one of the best Hawthorne High School, and our band was great, and it's really exciting to hear that you were in band and all that great stuff. I wish you amazing success. It's great to hear your family. It's great to hear you, and I'm just excited to see what is going to happen. So I just wanted to come up and wish you amazing continued success in your journey, and just keep going, because you know you get to go out and do what you love. So I'm excited for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Anybody else? ¿Algunos de sus familiares? ¿Algo en español o ya? Is that it? Okay. Anybody else? I'm going to close it up. All right. I think we got somebody coming up. Yeah. He's one of those tough guys that, you know, one of those tough guys, but when he starts speaking, right?
Just want to say I'm proud to be your friend, like growing up with each other, like the times we'd like sleep over at your house when your mom went to Mexico with like Marco, Jesse, and even Eastside too, like just hanging out with them. Like it was, even in high school, it was like I felt welcomed with them, because like before I was kind of like a loser. So yeah, but you know. But seeing you before and then seeing you now, it's like such a trip, because he's like very, like, how do I say, very passionate. There you go. Thank you for the way. Passionate about music, and like so diverse into like jazz, psychedelic, and even like Spanish too, and then like classic rock, stuff like that, and just seeing how just witnessing him like creating music and then showing me like demos and stuff that he works on. It's like such a privilege, and I'm very grateful and thankful that you brought me on to like this, because I don't know what I would be doing, probably stuck at Denny's like in 132nd. But
God.
I love you as a brother, and I'm grateful for you.
Awesome. Eso.
And those receipts.
Hey, Chico. What's up, man? I'm just gonna keep this short, man. Just amazing seeing you grow up from many of your phases, your psychedelic phase, your scene kid phase. I remember that. It was Kendrick Lamar on Instagram, all that stuff. Thank you for letting me jam out in your garage, listening to scene kid music, Polyphia, North Lane, and all that stuff. I remember you were just like, hey man, I want to sing, and then you sang this Pierce DeVille song in your garage, and I was just like, you know what, man, you should keep singing, and you know what, I'm glad you quit the band, because if it wasn't because of that, you wouldn't have been here, man. And it's amazing to see you grow up, and you know, you and your family are just so, you just come with open arms. It's amazing, man, and I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with your life, because I'm gonna be there, you know, watching you on my phone, and it's, you know, I love you, man.
Awesome, man. All right. Anybody else? Oh, there we go, Mr. Boston. Come on, let's give a round of applause to this guy. Hey, for anybody who stopped off at the 7-Eleven that's on, what street is it? 130 what?
137 in Hawthorne.
That's the owner right there. You guys know which one we're talking about? Yeah. Woo!
first of all, congratulations, and you have made them very proud. You don't need it, you have the success, but we can just keep you in Hawthorne, we can offer you lifelong free Slurpee. You know, oh my God. You know, it is very important that you actually don't realize how much inspiration you are actually creating for the youth in the community. So it's a great contribution, which is other than the music, to the other psychology of the youth. And plus, above all, in the present environment, actually, it proves how the immigrants are contributing to the country. I believe immigrants are contributing to the economy of this country disproportionately higher than anybody else. So you need to be proud, and we need to continue. And I'm an immigrant, so I can relate it with you. And I did not know about you until I got an email. So it's very important to highlight the talent we have in our community. And for that, I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for setting up this program so that we all come to know this one. Anyway, thank you, and thank Jesus. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Excellent.
Don't mind, Mayor, real quick. I stepped outside to take a phone call related to work, so I'm gonna do that right now. I looked you up. Is it Que lo siento? Lo que siento. That's got 6.6 million views. That's the manager. I listened to about 45 seconds of it. That's really good, dude. I listen to music from all over the world. That was really good. So you being from Hawthorne here, that's amazing. Wish you nothing but luck. I'm gonna listen to more later. Take care.
So I just want to know that I gave him my business card. So if he gets if he's pulled over or anything, he can use it, and we'll see what happens. I hope that he doesn't get a ticket. Listen, as a chief, you know, the police department, often our officers are committed to doing everything they can to help the youth in our community. It's never really publicized, but so one of the things that we talk about is that, you know, to make a difference in people's lives, it's a privilege. And whether it's in law enforcement or in the arts, to be able to do that, you know, it's a privilege, and we're all grateful that you took the chance and gave it everything you had. Art is probably the ultimate definition for the First Amendment, right? So you got to just keep going. And as long as you have a point of view and you have all these people that are following you, just treat it as a privilege, and you know that we'll be supporting you all this time. What you don't know is him and I travel all over the place, and we love music, so we're always going to concerts, and we understand the passion of music and what it means to people, and it's life-changing. And you know, for you, know that the music forever. I mean, we still listen to music from when we were 13. So just think that the music you're creating now, although you're going to be moving forward, will make a difference in people's lives forever. All right, and that's a privilege. Good luck to you. All right.
All right. Awesome. Okay, I think that's probably wrapping it up. Right, okay, good. So, this is the formal part of the event. I have a proclamation on behalf of the city of Hawthorne. It's been signed by myself, the mayor, our mayor pro tem, Olivia Valentine, our council member, Alex Monteiro, council member Mike Tayeda, who's here in the audience with us, and council member Hadar Awad. And let me see, I wish I had brought my glasses, you know, but let's see, no, I can read it, I can just get it. So a proclamation honoring Omar Cuco Baños. It has like a whole bio, so I'm gonna try to just paraphrase. Whereas Cuco Baños is the breakout artist of 2018, recognized as one of LA's most exciting young stars, and hailed as the king of Gen X R&B, according to a Los Angeles newspaper. Cuco, who is a 21-year-old solo indie pop producer, he's a singer, he's a songwriter, and musician, was raised in Hawthorne. That's the part that I love. Baños grew up on a diverse immersion of Latin music by his parents, influences from his father, as I mentioned, in rock en español. His mother introduced him to boleros, some of his uncles to psychedelic rock and gangster rap that he experienced living here in the area. He taught himself how to play guitar using YouTube tutorials and using the internet. And he later learned how to play the bass, the keys, the drums, trumpets, French horns, etc. And the mellophone, which I learned today is not what I thought it was, all before the age of 15. Whereas he spent the majority of his teenage years behind his French horn as part of the high school marching band and glued to his laptop screen as he taught himself how to produce music and compose through a cracked version of Ableton Live at age 16. You guys didn't hear that part? The cracked version? You don't understand what that meant? While still in high school, and he was eager to release his music independently, Cuco spent countless hours and sleepless nights shaping what would soon become his trademark style. Whereas Cuco his skyrocketing trajectory made him a modern-day internet phenomena. After first unveiling his Cuco project in 2015, he uploaded rock covers. He started off with rock covers and psychedelic-leaning electronic-tinged originals to his cloud page that went viral in 2016 when posting a video on Twitter that played a cover of the 1959 surf rock classic Sleepwalk from Santo and Johnny. In 2016, Cuco self-released his debut mixtape, Wanna Be With You. The release made about 72 million streams collectively on Spotify alone. And whereas in 2017, he released the mixtapes Songs for You on Spotify, which expanded his brand of hypnotic melodies of love, using his skills as a digital native and internet-obsessed protege. Cuco began to gain a die-hard fans following his self-appointed Cuco Pebbles. That's what I guess he started being called that, right? Cuco Pebbles, right? And then somehow it became Cuco Puffs. That grew online and quickly spread through worldwide, gaining millions of streams and followers and independent artists along the way. So he gained a lot of fans in the process, about 850,000 as you guys heard today. Today he's known as the definition of a self-made pop star. And whereas in May 2017, Cuco released Lo Que Siento, his first bilingual track and his ultimate breakthrough single with 44 million Spotify streams with additional 9 million streams on SoundCloud. Cuco's discography also included the self-released Chiquita, his first proper EP, released in 2018. Also, Sunnyside Drown, Fix Me, and Para Mi, to be released, I'm not supposed to say, well, it's on July 26, 2019, which was, I think, yesterday or so. It's today? Today's the 26th? I wasn't supposed to. I was trying to skip over it, but I just said it. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Okay. Whereas Cuco is a self-identified first-generation Chicano artist, and today represents the new wave of Latinx acts who are pushing sonic boundaries and break through genre norms. Now, therefore, the Hawthorne City Mayor Alex Vargas and the City Council formally do hereby proclaim, with much appreciation and admiration for him, today being Cuco Day in the city of Hawthorne. This is proclaimed this 26th day of July 2019. Congratulations, my friend. Folks, we're gonna do something else, and then after that, we're gonna ask Cuco to say a few words. But yeah, so, but I just want you guys to know that as soon as we finish the program here, and he says his words, and we close up, we have cake out there for you guys. Okay, cake, punch. I know there's something that you guys have to start taking care of at 2:00. So just make sure that there's cake out there. We want to make sure that you guys take a piece or eat some piece here. But just come up to the front, right here. Lucky?
All the front.
Yeah. So this is something that was brought to us through a Brink security truck. I have to open it via lock. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to just do it. So. So now I'd like to ask Cuco to come up to the podium himself so he can address the community of Hawthorne.
Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't prepare a speech for this. But thank you guys so much. It's kind of a trip because, yeah, I did used to just, like, kick it out here and, like, skate. And I didn't know it was prohibited. But I just want to thank everybody that's here. Muchísimas gracias a mi familia por estar aquí, por todo el apoyo. To my friends, to all the community for, you know, just being so supportive, and I was actually kind of surprised. Like I remember I was when, I think it was like last week when we came back from like wherever we were coming back from. No, not last week. Probably it was. I just remember I was coming back from the airport and I got a phone call from Doris and she was like, "Yo, they're gonna give you the keys to the city." Yeah. And I didn't know how to feel about it like at first because I'm not good at like processing things. Like I don't even know how I process like my own outcome. Like, you know, even with the album, like I feel like it hasn't even hit me yet. But yeah, actually being here and hearing everybody's words, hearing what everybody has to say, it means so much. You know, I have what I consider my brothers here. You know, Isai, Marco, Anthony. Hey, you're cool too, Josh. Nah, yeah, these are all people that I kicked it with. We all grew up. Yeah. Oh, wait, it was Johnny. Yeah. Bro, I know Johnny since like middle school, and he was on tour with us now. like it's just crazy because like it's just all community things, and I think that I'm in a sense kind of speechless because I don't even like know like I didn't think at any point in my life I was gonna be doing this. I was making music and I knew I wanted to pursue it. I wanted to do something in music, but I didn't think that my project, my passion project, was going to be something. And thank you, Doris, for carrying it out. You know, thank you, Sadie, for being a great day today. I didn't even see you, Gabriel. You were here too. So quiet. You just got here? Yeah, breeze. The breeze will flow. Thank you also to Julian, to Fern, you know, in the band, Soscato, Gio. I know they're not here right now, but because they're all like, I think they're all like setting up at the venue right now. But you know, most importantly, thank you, my mom, my dad, because I've seen them create something from nothing. I've seen them struggle. I've seen them, you know, grow, and we went from living into like a little garage apartment that was like over 100 degrees in the summer, and we had to like leave to go to my grandparents' house or do something else because we couldn't be there to like seeing them buy the house, and then almost lose it twice, and now just having them not worry. My mom doesn't have to work. My dad still chooses to work. I don't know why, but but you know, they are what I do everything for. My mom, my dad, and I love them, you know, with my whole heart. So thank you.
There we go. There we go. So, brother, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Wait, hold on.
No, I know. There, so.
Oh, yeah, also, my dad just became a citizen.
Yes, sir. So, estamos orgullosos de ti. We're very proud of you, brother. I wanted to ask you, for all the Hawthorne residents out there, what does Hawthorne mean to you?
It's home. Yeah, it's community. It's where I grew up, where I found myself. I found my comfort, and you know, it's, you know, I think it's where I really grew up, because even when I was in like middle school and like kinder, like I didn't really do anything other than just go home and do homework. But you know, in high school is when I started like, you know, going out, meeting my friends. And when I'm out of the city, out of the country, like, I'm always excited to be back. I'm always excited to just go eat a burger at Dino's, go eat some pollo inca, mis Zacatecas.
Mis Zacatecas.
Yeah, so it's where I feel where I do feel at home. It's comfort for me.
Awesome, man. Any final message you want to say to your fans out there and the residents of the city of Hawthorne?
For those who didn't know me that are gonna go check me out tonight, thank you. I hope the music is fitting for your taste. Thank you. I mean, it's being filmed, right? So it's like to the fans, like, just thank you, everybody. Like, it's been a crazy trip, and it's getting crazier. Today's like the album release day, and I'm getting the keys to the city on the same day. So it's a lot happening. Thank you.
We're proud of you, brother. Let's give another round of applause. All right, folks. So that ends the program. Let's all go out into the foyer, and let's go have some cake, and everybody gets to meet each other out in the foyer to the left. Okay, let's go out to the. Awesome. Great. Thank you all for coming.